Hey guys, alrighty, I am back. See if I can speed through it a little bit quicker than the first video, which was the Ace of Cups. Sorry, the Cup suit. So we're doing the Wands, which is the element of fire. I'm just gonna read from my notes here, guys. Wands represent fire, energy, passion, willpower, inspiration, sparks of inspiration, inspiration. Sorry, like a surprises, heavy, forceful energy. Associated with the color red, egoistical. So it's kind of the fire suit. Oh, it looks like it's gonna rain again. Okay. So let's see if I can skim through this one a little bit quicker. So Ace of Wands, again, it's the whole, cloud representations, just the cloud, or, the hand is the spirit, the other realm, spirit guides, ancestors, whatever, helping you from the other side, right? They're presenting you, they're giving you something from the other side, like new inspiration, energy, to kind of give you, to put in you, you know what I mean, for like get you, hyped up, for whatever it is that you're gonna do, or whatever you do. Newly inspired ideas, something that's newly inspired. Like, you get a new inspiration, and it kind of, but, if you're not inspired, that, you will be inspired soon, so if it's not there yet, it will be, it's coming, just take whatever it is that, the other realm is trying to give you, they're trying to help you get inspired, right? Like, you can get inspired by, a dream. You could be conversating with somebody, and, that whole boop, light bulb type thing happens. It's also, fertility, newness, birth of something new, you know what I mean, to push you in the right direction and kind of get you started, and, get that engine going, so to speak. So that's the Ace of Wands. So the Two of Wands, is kind of like examining your life, where it is. If you look at the card, like the traditional one, he's holding, the little globe, right? It's like he's holding the world in his hands, so to speak, right? it's his world. You know, his world is in his hand, you know, and he's contemplating, you know, he's contemplating it, you know, trying to figure out, you know, if he wants to continue, you know, doing what he wants to do, or if he wants change, or she, you know, the person who you're doing the reading for, if they want change, maybe he or she's caught between two different ideas or situations. Maybe he or she is feeling restless or bored. No, or just maybe trying to find a way to make, you know, their world a little bit better, you know. Conceding opinions, coinciding opinions, and I can't even read my own handwriting sometimes. Considering opinions outside himself, as well as in himself, really trying to make a decision as to what to do. So remember I was talking about symbols and things like that. I will be getting into talking more about symbols and stuff too. Just because like I kind of want to look in my book, because I'm still looking, you know, and kind of learning all the different symbols. But mountains is like spiritual growth, opportunity, of how far you can go, and like buildings, if there's buildings, it's physical, like success, work, career, that kind of thing, right? It's a physical, you know. Just because like the book that I have, like I said, some of the symbols that she has written in there, it's like for both like her deck, as well as the traditional RWS decks, right? So Three of Wands can mean, you know, your ships are coming in, you know, things are coming in, you know, things are starting to come in, or like you feel like things are starting to come in, but you know, they're kind of coming in a little slow, you know, not as fast as you would like them to come in. Which, you know, sometimes that's better, because if it comes in slowly, sometimes it's because it's gonna last. You know what I mean? It's gonna be more fruitful, and it's gonna be better for you long term, you know, as opposed if things just kind of start coming in really, really fast and you don't have time to kind of wrap your head around things. And then that's where it can kind of leave things open where, you know, mistakes can be made and that kind of thing, right? So sometimes it's better, you know, yes, you know, you see things coming into you, and you see it coming in, you know, but it's coming in at a slower pace. Sometimes it's better that it comes in in a slower pace, you know. So Three of Wands, like I said, coming in, the feeling like it's coming in, but kind of coming in slowly, considering, you know, like what to do about it. Can also signify that, you know, he or she could ask for assistance, you know. You can ask for help, you know, you can ask, you know, ideas and tricks, you know, to figure out like how how to kind of draw, you know, and bring that into you a little bit quicker than what it's, you know, how it's coming in, right? Because you see it there, but it's just, it's like a trick, it's trickling, you know what I mean? And depending on what the situation is and depending on what it is, sometimes it is better that way, but sometimes, you know, you kind of want it to, okay, can you hurry up already? And, you know, let me start kind of, you know, kind of really weeping, you know, the benefits of things, right? So sometimes you can ask for help, like to kind of, and ideas and tricks and stuff of like maybe how to bring that in a little bit quicker, you know, then make it move along a little bit faster, so to speak, than, you know, what it's going at the pace that it's going. So 4 of Wands, celebration card, you know, tradition, marriage, traditional structure, you know, traditional systems, you know, that may be outdated. This card can suggest that this may be here. Yeah, maybe outdated. This card may be a suggestion that this may be here as well. There is a celebration, but then maybe some outdated traditions, maybe some obstacles in the way, as in, like I said, outdated systems, outdated traditions, you know, things like that. Sometimes, you know, outdated traditions or outdated systems and that can kind of prolong things, or, you know, just not make it as good as it could be. You know, and, you know, you need help to figure out, you know, how to move forward, you know, old patterns, habits, to break away from, to move forward. It's still a good card, because it's like stability, you know, and stuff like that. You know, but it's also like old cultures and like stuck, right? So it's kind of like, you know, it's a good card, you know, because the celebration and stuff like that, but like at the same time, you kind of stuck in, you know, the old ways and the old traditions and, you know, like things you kind of grew up with, you know, and it may be time to change those traditions and kind of change those ways, break away from those kind of bad habits that were kind of instilled in you as a child kind of growing up, right? 5 of Wands, it's, you know, lack of order with people in your life, differences of opinions, that can be challenged, or feels in your way. Someone needs to bring order to a situation. Someone may need to accept that not everyone is going to agree with you or agree with your opinion, or your, you know, vision of a situation, or, you know, vision of a project or whatever. You know, is there competing ideas? You know, that, you know, you can't express, you know, because, you know, you're trying to express your ideas and your opinions, and, you know, someone else is kind of like controlling the situation and kind of blocking it. You know, was there an argument you had with someone, you feel the need to address? Are you picking the right battles, you know. So, you know, did you have an argument, you know, a few days ago or in the past about a situation, and that you haven't yet dealt with, you know? Are you, you know, you need to pick your battles, you know? You know, something that's really small and meh. Well, you know, maybe, you know, just let the situation be, let the situation lie. You know, let that person kind of find out the hard way, so to speak. You know, instead of you always trying to, you know, put in, you know, your opinion, so to speak. You know, like sometimes, you know, our opinion shouldn't even really be in a situation. You know, we need to kind of pick and choose our battles as to what we want to be like, you know, straight across, and like, no, like, you know, sometimes it's not worth it. You know, you want to argue about something really small and minor, you know. I mean, if we had to do that every single time, good Lord, we'd be stressed out continuously. I pick my battles. So, Six of Wands, you know, suggests, you know, you pick the right battle. So basically this is like talking about after the Five of Wands, right? It's saying, okay, you know what? You pick the right battle, you pick the right, you know, the right side type of thing, the right situation, or you went about it the right way and stuff like that. You know, so now we have victory. But be careful of, you know, who is rallying around you. Not everyone around you wants you to win, or is happy that you won, or, you know, happy that you've achieved what you have achieved. You know, happy about, you know, you starting your business, if you're starting a small business, or, you know, furthering a hobby that, you know, now people are kind of, you know, intrigued by, you know. And, you know, you have people that are like, yeah, you know, good job, great job, I'm so happy for you. They're really not. Because they're not really rallying for you. You know, are you feeling defeated? Are you feeling superior? Or are you feeling inferior of someone else? What are, you know, what are the people around you doing as you celebrate your win? You know, this is where the whole like evil eye thing comes in. And I know a lot of people think, you know, I'm whatever, you know, all that, you know, hoodoo craziness, you know, whatever. But I actually very, very much believe in the evil eye. Hence why I wear an evil eye bracelet. Only because I have experienced it myself. I've experienced it in my home, and both of my daughters have actually experienced it. And I mean, luckily the three of us are practicing witches, so we can kind of tell when somebody is doing it, or, you know, sending us bad energy, you know, sending us that evil eye, so to speak. And it's such a quick thing. You know, it could even be, you know, someone you come across in a store, to be honest. And, you know, because you guys had a bad interaction, even though you don't know each other, they can put the evil eye on you, you know. And then, you'll start getting all these different feelings of like negativity and you know, feeling inferior and you know, feeling defeated and things like that. And that's because this person is projecting that on you. And if you're extremely sensitive to energies, you know, and the energies in the universe and the energies exchange from, you know, human to human and things like that, it'll affect you. So pay attention. You know, when you're celebrating your wins and celebrating, you know, your gains and all your hard work and stuff, pay attention to the people around you. You know, be aware of the people around you as, you know, you celebrate, you know, your winnings and your earnings and things like that. Because I guarantee you, you'll end up picking up one or two people out of that celebration of people that are passive aggressive, you know, and as much as they're cheering for you, yeah, at the same time in their head, and some people are not aware that they're given the evil eye, and those are the ones that are extremely dangerous, you know, because they're not aware that it, you know, it's an actual thing. You know, they just think, oh, well, I'm just thinking this and this is kind of just how I feel, but nothing's really gonna come of it. Yeah, if you put it out there in the universe, something will come about it, you know. And that's where you start, where you see people and they're like, oh my God, like this time last year, you know, they were doing so well, and now all of a sudden, you know, this person is excessively stressed out and you know, self-doubting themselves, and they feel defeated, and, you know, could be some depression in there and some anxiety, like could be so many things that they didn't have that time, you know, this time last year, and now all of a sudden they have it, you know. And the person that was wishing the evil eye on them and wishing them, you know, well, you know, why do they, how did they get that, and how did they get their business going, and well, how did they, because they worked hard for it, you know, they manifested it and they put it out there in the universe, you know, and the universe granted it to them, you know. Hey, you know, you worked really hard for this, here you go, you know, now just keep working hard, don't get comfortable and stop working, because you can't do that, you know. And, you know, well, how come I don't have it? And, well, if I can't have it, you know, they shouldn't have. Like, people really think those things sometimes, you know, and as they're thinking it, they're like, yeah, good job, Tammy, yeah. But meanwhile, in their head, they're thinking, well, why the heck does she get to have all that? Or why the heck does she have that? And how come I can't have that? And well, you know, that's not going to last. And, you know, they start putting it out there in the universe, and then it could end up working its way around and coming back to you. And then that's where the self-doubt will start coming in, and you know, the feeling of feeling defeated, and, you know what I mean, things like that. Like, sometimes they could be potentially sabotaging things for you without actually verbalizing it, you know. They're verbalizing it like, yeah, go for it, good for you, I'm happy for you, but energetically they're, no, why should you have that? If I can't have it, you can't have it. Well, what makes you better so that you can accomplish the, like, do you understand what I'm saying? So be aware and be careful of who you have in your circle. I'm a very, very firm believer of that. Sometimes I will actually get visions of people. And this one particular time, I was actually meditating, and I actually kind of freaked out my second oldest daughter. I was meditating, and I was doing this thing, I forget what they call it, but you meditate, and as you're meditating, it's a type of a trance work. So you get into a really deep trance, and you can either draw or write. I'm not a very good artist. I can draw certain things very well, and then other things, not so much. So I wrote, and so I had a vision of this particular person, and I actually saw this particular person. So like I know it was this person, and then all of a sudden, this person literally shapeshifted into a huge freaking cobra, like a huge snake, and was just like doing this. And I was completely tripped out, and I'm pretty sure I still have the writing somewhere. All I kept doing was writing this person's name, and then writing snake, writing cobra, you know, trying to attack and bite and all this stuff. And I jumped up, and I remember telling my second oldest daughter about it, and we were both just like floored, because she never told anybody, but she had the same vision, except hers is when she met the person. You know, the first time she met the person, she saw the snake, you know, the big cobra snake, and she was like, okay, go. You know, as to with me, it came when I was doing like a deep trance work. So yeah, sorry, I know I kind of went off a little topic, but just really pay attention to the circle of people you have around you. And it's not necessarily just friends, I'll tell you that right now, and I tell you that from experience. Sometimes it could be your family. You know, as sad and heartbreaking as it is, sometimes it's your family that is, you know, putting that evil eye on you, so to speak. All right, Seven of Wands. You know, what are you trying, what are you trying to rise up from, you know, like above from, you know, or what are you trying to separate, you know, separate from? Are you holding your own, you know, or do you need to ask for help? You know, you need to like ask yourself, you know, are you being assertive enough? Are you, you know, are you standing your ground? Are you, you know, are you looking within, you know, that kind of thing, you know? You know, are you standing up for yourself enough? And then exhaustion, you know, because sometimes, you know, if you're just continuously, you know, fighting, and you're just constantly, you know, you get the exhaustion, you know, like now you're exhausted, and you know what I mean? Because you're, you know, not, you know, you're not standing up for yourself, you know, you're not rising up above, you know, whatever the situation, you know, was in the past, right? You know, you're letting it continuously, you know, you're not separating, you know, yourself from it. You know, you're not holding your own, you know, you're not asking for help when you need help. And I know my daughters, every so often, they do watch my videos, and I'm pretty sure if they end up watching this, they'll probably comment, yeah, mom. Yeah. I am a Capricorn, so I'm very stubborn. And my moon is in Gemini, and my rising is in Cancer. So I'm like double hard-headed. I don't like to ask for help. I will figure out how to do it on my own, if even at like the death of exhaustion. I'll figure it out, and I'll eventually, and I will rise above everything, and everything will iron itself out. But it's the point being is I overexert myself, and I exhaust myself to the point where I don't have energy to do anything, you know, because I don't like to ask for help. You know, I've always done everything on my own. It's like embedded in my DNA, you know, just, you know, my life, my childhood, things like that. I've always had to do everything on my own. I could never count on anybody to help me with anything or to do anything for myself, because I was always disappointed. So sadly, as a really young child, I learned not to depend on anybody but myself. I've gotten better, you know, over the years. You know, my husband helped me out a lot with that. You know, and we've been together for 29 years now. But there is still certain things where, like, I won't ask for help. I'd just rather do it myself. You know, even if it takes me 4 days, I'd rather do it myself, you know, because at least I know it's done, and it's done the way it needs to be done, and that's that. So, you know, ask yourself, you know, like, are you asking for help when you need help? You know, it's okay to ask for help, you know, sometimes, because we need to, you know, just obviously be cautious who you're asking help from, right? So 8 of Wands is like quick movement, you know, swift movement, you know, things are moving, you know, swift inspirations, you know, quick inspirations, like just came to you, you know, like, okay, we got it, we're, you know, something's gonna happen, and when it happens, it's gonna happen fast. It's gonna be like a fast-pacing thing. You know, it's coming in quick. It's coming in fast, you know. It's coming in towards you fast. Fast changes, you know, coming inwards. Fast inspirations, you know, what's heading your way, flooding of ideas and flooding of inspiration and like creativity juices, you know, things are just kind of flooding in, and you know, you gotta be like, oh my god, I don't know what to do, like I have so many ideas now, you know, write them down so you don't forget them. But everything's gonna come in quick, you know. So that's the 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands could be read 2 ways. It could be read as, you know, ready for a fight, a battle. If you know, you know, you're in the process of being confronted by someone else or other people, you feel like, you know, you always have to stand up, you know, stand up for you. You always have to stand up for yourself. You always have to stand up, you know, like, you know, you feel like you're always being hit with opposition. You know, on the flip side, though, are you being paranoid? Do you really have something to worry about on the other side? Or are you creating problems, creating arguments? So sometimes, which I've done this in the past, and I'm sure everybody has done this at some point. You kind of get in your head and you create situations. You know, you create problems, which can create arguments, you know, because you're so in your head, and, you know, you're thinking that, you know, everything's always a fight and you always have to fight, and but in reality, it's not. You know, there wasn't a fight. There wasn't anything. There was nothing there. You were just in your head. You know, so you kind of created that whole scenario. Do you know what I'm getting at? So it can be either way. It could actually be that, hey, this is a warning, you know, there's a battle coming your way, there's a fight coming your way. You know, some people are going to confront you about something, or you're going to be confronted about something, or confronted about a person, confronted about a situation or a problem, you know, whatever. So I'm just warning you. Or you're in your head again. Get out of your head. You know what I mean? So it could be either one, you know. 10 of Wands. It's funny because I actually got this card quite frequently last year. Is suggesting a burden. His possession, you know, or her possession has taken a hold of himself or herself, and he or she is carrying it all with him. You know, the tunnel vision, right? Head down, not looking up. What's weighing you down? What responsibilities are you taking on that aren't yours? Ding, 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 ding. Did someone drop their responsibilities on you? Ding, 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 ding. And now you feel burden to carry it. Reminds you to take a break, put it all down. I had an extremely rough 2020. And I know everybody had a rough 2020, obviously, because that's when COVID hit. You know, everything got locked down March of 2020. My 2020 year started out, well, with me being sick, which now I'm wondering sometimes, did I have COVID? Maybe? Because I was extremely sick. Like, I was in bed for like a week. And it took me a while to kind of recuperate and regroup. You know, I was extremely exhausted and yada, yada, yada. But we didn't really know much about COVID. We knew there was another disease in China, but that was it, right? So then I had a death in the family in February, which is literally a month after the new year. We had lockdown in March. You know, and just kind of dealing with all the uncertainties of that. And then my mother was rushed into the hospital in June. You know, helping my brother kind of balance grieving because he just lost his girlfriend for, well, I guess common law wife, because they were together for like 10 years. She died very suddenly. She was a young girl, like 28 years old, I believe. She would have been 29 that August. And she literally dropped dead in front of my brother. I still don't know of what. And they have a young baby together. Who at the time wasn't even a year old yet. She was coming up to being a year old that March. You know, so helping him deal with his emotions for that. And then my brother also has cancer. He has stage 4 melanoma cancer. And just like the whole uncertainties of everything, like the uncertainty of his cancer, how long he's going to be around for, especially with it being stage 4. Having an infant, you know, just all of that. And then my mom ended up in the hospital. She almost died. She was in an induced coma for like 2 weeks. She was always having, you know, issues with her stomach and her bowels and whatever. And procrastinated a lot on going to the doctors. Long story short, she ended up actually having a hole in her bowel. So I'm sure it probably started off as a small tear, but over the years, because it's been a couple of years, the hole got bigger. So essentially, she was slowly poisoning herself. Her body was going into like septic shock. You know, so she had an emergency surgery. But they had to clean everything up because literally her body was just full of infection and full of bacteria and, stuff like that. So now I work full time. I'm the sole provider for my family. So I work 40 hours a week, 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week. And so now I'm working, and now I gotta look after my mom's home. I gotta look after her dog, her cat, which is fine. But I can only get down there 2 days out of the week, my days off, because I'm at work so early in the morning. So anyways, we go down there, we end up finding out she has bed bugs. So now I'm booking off another week of vacation, surprise vacation. I was already on vacation when everything happened. It ended up not being very much of a vacation because she went in the hospital. We went to her place to feed the dog and the cat, found out she had bed bugs. Now we're cleaning the place up for bed bugs. You know what I mean? And then I'm calling in work and explaining everything to them to get another week's vacation so I can clean my mom's place out. And I was literally by myself. My brother lives in the same building. He would go down and put food and water down for the dog, but he wasn't taking her out for a walk. He wasn't letting her go outside to go to the bathroom. He wasn't changing the pee-pee pads that were down. So I would literally go down there come Sunday, and I've got a week's worth of pee and poop to clean up. And then I've got my own house that I keep trying to keep clean. I have a full house. You know what I mean? I'm working on top of everything. I have to Uber because I don't drive. I won't take the bus, because COVID, hello. You know what I mean? So it was an extremely, 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 extremely stressful year for me. And, obviously I'm going to do it. It's my mother. There's no one else to do it. But it's just, the point is, my whole entire life, I've always taken on everybody else's responsibilities. I've always taken on everybody else's problems and kind of made them my own. And I'm always trying to help. Even though, the people that I help don't reciprocate the same thing back, So when something happens and I need help, I can, and over the years, I've gotten a lot better with that. Long story short, my brother and I ended up having an altercation about it, because I, told him he needed to take his items out of my mom's place, in which he proceeded to threaten me. Him and my daughters have had words. He has yet to apologize to me for it. He backhanded apologized to my 2 older daughters, but he didn't have the conversation with them. He had the conversation with me. So I have washed my hands of the whole situation. He can apologize to me for his actions, and I leave it at that. So hence why I don't know if they actually did find out what she passed away from. But yeah, sorry, I know, a little rant again. Try not to, you can't carry everything on your own. You know what I mean? It's okay to put the burdens down. It's okay, to take a break from them and just, kind of breathe. It took me a long time to realize that and figure that out. I wish I would have realized and figured that out sooner. But then again, it probably wouldn't have made me the person that I am today either, Alrighty. So wands represents spiritual inspiration, passion, fire, energy, willpower, um, you know, teachers, leaders, bosses, you know, things like that. So the Page of Wands, inspiration, new to an idea. Ask yourself, you know, what inspires you? You know, what's new for you? What's making you curious? You know, are you listening? Are people trying to teach you new things? Are you heeding, you know, their advice? You know, are you listening to them? Are you paying attention? You know, and then it's also like growth and spiritual elevations. Knight of Wands, can mean an evolution of you, you know, growing and learning, growing up in a situation, represents all, you know, that you, all that you've learned, you know, to put into motion. Knights are motion. They're motion cards, you know. So movement, you know, it's a movement card. It's, you know, what are you happy about? You know, what are you, you know, enthusiastic about? You know, what's getting your creativity juices going? You know, what's getting that fire in you? You know, like what's lighting and sparking that fire? You know, what is it? You know, what do you think about? You know, that you're excited, you know, to work on, or that you're excited to make. You know, are you making the necessary steps for it? Are you taking the necessary risks for it, you know, to achieve it? You know, are you risk a little too unnecessary? Are you taking too much risks, you know, that you don't need to be taking? Are you going before, you know, are you making the moves before you've had a chance to really think about it and kind of take it all in and observe it, and, you know, things like that? Like, you know, playing it out before you kind of actually act it out, so to speak. You know, maybe you can slow down. You know, depending on what the situation is, you know, what the surrounding cards are. You know, are you focusing your energy on it? You know, maybe you need to focus a little more, you know, that kind of thing, you know. So that's the Knight of Wands. And then I believe, yeah, so we have two more suits. So we have the Pentacles, which we're going to do now, which is the element of earth. So that's my son in the background. Pentacles is anything that is material. So it's like the material world, the material realm, anything tangible, physical, jobs, house, financial, money, moving houses, moving, you know, something that is actually physical. That's the suit of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles is, again, right, offering opportunity, money, jobs, house, promotions, journey. Two of Pentacles is balancing, right, juggling, suggesting a level of discomfort, managing something material, money, need to keep it, you know, need to keep it all in the air. Three of Pentacles is like, you know, being noticed of hard work, you know, recognized for hard work, you know, that you're doing, or, you know, the person you're doing the reading for has done. So it's, you know, recognition, right? Four of Pentacles is, you know, buildings are you know, remember what we were saying about symbols, right? So buildings are a sign of success, material, physical, achieved moderate success, health, you know, guarding his possessions, fear of losing, and a hint of stubbornness. So that's the Four of Pentacles. And if you see the Four of Pentacles, if I remember correctly, in the original RWS, he's holding two of the pentacle discs or coins in his hand like this, like these are mine, and then he's stepping on two, right? So that's like the whole of, you know, guarding his possessions, you know, because he's, you know, fearful of losing it, you know. And then if you look at his facial expression, you know, you can kind of see the stubbornness there. Like he's very stern, like, you know. So Five of Pentacles represents tough times, you know, money troubles, loss, down on your luck. You know, who can you ask for help? You know, those kind of be the questions you would ask yourself, like, okay, like, you know, I've hit really hard times and whatever, like who can I ask for help that I know I can trust, and, you know, that'll actually be there for me. So if you see the most part in the suits so far, if you see the pattern, fives generally are not very good cards. They're more of like loss and things like that. I also like to kind of put, I guess, like a positive spin on it, as to, yes, you know, we're going to acknowledge the loss that we had. We're going to acknowledge, you know, the tough times. We're going to acknowledge the troubles. We're going to acknowledge, you know, the money troubles. We're going to acknowledge, you know, whatever, right? But we're going to learn from it. You know, what can we take from that stressful situation, you know, those tough times, and, you know, those losses and things that, what can we take from those situations that happen and learn from them, you know, and take with us to move forward, you know, because we learned from them. Do you know what I mean? Like what gifts, I guess, or knowledge. What knowledge can we take from those situations of loss and, you know, tough times and troubles and, you know, bad luck and heartache and, you know, all of those emotions. You know, what knowledge can we take with us and bring forward with us without bringing all the negative aspect to it, to learn from, so we don't repeat. Do you know what I mean? So we don't find ourselves, you know, like if it's money trouble, well, did you invest your money in something without really doing your research about it? So the knowledge would be, okay, you know, we're not gonna never, you know, invest, because obviously investing is good. You just need to be smart about it, right? So the knowledge that you would take with you going forward would be, we're going to do more research, you know, of what it is that we're investing our money in, and, you know, maybe get help from someone who actually specializes in investments and deals with investments and, you know, that kind of thing, you know. And that would be the type of knowledge, you know, that you would take with you from that situation. So that's kind of how, you know, I like to describe, you know, the fives. You know, if a five happens to come up in a reading that I'm doing for someone, yeah, you're in a shitty situation right now, but what knowledge can you take from the situation and bring forward with you for you to learn from, so you don't go back into or repeat that situation? Excuse me. I also kind of have another outlook for the Ten of Swords, because a lot of people see the Ten of Swords and they're like, so, but we'll deal with that when we get into the swords. Six of Pentacles. It can be read two ways. Could someone who asked for help, you're being given help, receiving help, or giving help, you know. So it could either be someone, it could be someone who asked for help, you know, or it could be you being given help, could be receiving help, you know, that kind of thing. Seven of Pentacles. Two ways. Looking at his harvest. Disappointed in your harvest, you know, so you could be looking at, you know, your growth and, you know, what you've accomplished and being okay with it. Or you could be looking at it and being like, wow, like I'm really not impressed with where I'm at right now, or I'm really not impressed how the situation played out, you know, that kind of thing, you know. Or it could be, you know, wow, I'm really happy with the success that I've gotten, or the success that this idea, this project has brought me, you know. So it could be either or, right? Because it obviously depends on the situation. Eight of Pentacles, you know, is about hard work, you know, perfecting your skills, diligent, you know, so keep working hard, you know, you're almost there. You know, you're perfecting, you know, your skills, you're perfecting your craft, you're perfecting, you know, proofreading, you know, your presentation, or, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, you're diligent, like be diligent, you know, keep being diligent, you know, like you're almost there, right? Because I mean, we're at 8, right? Nine of Pentacles is abundance, blessings, growing, you know, coming, you know, you're coming into, you know, to celebrating your abundance and to celebrate your blessings and your success and, you know, that kind of thing, you know, like you're coming into it, you know. And then obviously 10 of Pentacles is, hey, you're here, you've made it, you know, it's a time of celebration, let's celebrate, and, you know, everything that we've worked hard for, and, you know, that kind of thing. So we'll go into the court cards for the Pentacles. Again, element of earth represents earthly related things, you know, earthly related jobs, you know, working with money, construction, doctors. So these are kind of the type of works and things like that, right? So like, I guess careers, you know. Page of Pentacles is, you know, new heights. You can go spiritual, material, growth. It's like a dense, heavy energy, deep contemplation, you know, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? How? You know what I mean? Knight of Pentacles, evaluating the next step. Good control, you know, over the situations. you know, making the right situation, you know, choosing the right situation, I should say. You know, be mindful of time. So, and then take time to think. So mindful of time is basically like, don't take too much time thinking about it, because you may just pass it, or it may pass you. You know, you may lose the opportunity, you know.
Mom, can Dad cut 2 slices of bun cake?
And things like that, yeah.
Okay.
You know, so if you take too much time, you know, thinking about something or contemplating whether, you know, you want to apply for that job posting, or you want to apply for that managerial position, you know what I mean? Well, if you take too much time thinking about it, someone else is going to come along and apply for it and get it. And then you're not going to get it, right? So be mindful of time. But at the same time, take time to think. Just don't take too much time to think. Do you know what I mean? Queen of Pentacles, you know, comfortable, stable, safe, secure, calm stability, no worries. You know, you kind of have a flow, you know, to your life, and you know, your growth is maintained. You know, a flow to your growth. You know, you've maintained your emotions. You know, you've maintained your emotion highs and heights, and you've achieved your journey. Knight of Pentacles, obviously abundance, confidence, you know, as above, so below. How far you can go, you know, can achieve, you know, confidence, successful. As above, so below is, you know, what you put out there is what comes to you, you know. So what you put out there will come to you from below. Do you know what I mean? So if you continuously put negativity out there, well, honey, what do you think is going to come to you? Negativity is going to come to you. That's why when you see somebody who is extremely negative and is just generally not a happy person, and I know a few of those people, they generally have the worst luck. You know, anything and everything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong, right? And then it's that, see? Do you see what I mean? What do I have to be happy for? Do you see? Everything and anything wrong that can happen to me happens to me. Well, that's because that's what you're putting out there. That's the energy that you're putting out there in the universe. Therefore, that's the energy that you're going to receive. You know, and I'm a very positive, bubbly person, and I always try to look at the bright side of most situations. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, I don't have the greatest luck, you know, but I don't have bad luck either. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of good things in my life. I have a lot of good people in my life that I am forever and internally grateful for and hold the utmost gratitude for. But have I had strings of bad luck and strings of like, oh my God, can I catch a break? Absolutely. Everybody does. The most positive person has had that. But I also look at, okay, yes, this happened for a reason. What do I need to learn from this situation? Like, you know, my mind just thinks differently. Do you know what I mean? So, think about what you're putting out there in the universe. You know, what you want to attract is what you want to put out in the universe. So what you put above, you know, you want to come back from below. So just be conscious of what it is that you're putting out as above, you know, to make sure that you're bringing in so below something that you actually want. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and own your confidence. There's nothing wrong with being confident. So we are in our last suit. Finally, I apologize, guys, if this is long. I don't have a lot of time to really kind of do videos, so I'm still trying to figure out how to squeeze videos in a little more frequently instead of just the 2 days that I'm off, because obviously, you know, if I only do my videos on the 2 days that I'm off, it kind of takes me away from my family. So I'm still playing around with like my work schedule and where I can fit in other videos, you know, that now that I'm kind of back from my hiatus. So swords, element of air. Remember, like I said, communication, everything that's kind of up here in your, you know. So swords, element of air, represents mental state, mental ability, intellectual capability, ability to think, anything airy, intellect, remind you of anything, thinking, planning, overall mental health, kind of like, you know, what's going on up there, you know, thinking, okay, why get into the habit of asking why when the swords pop up in a reading? You know, so just asking yourself why, you know. So if you continuously, you know, if you do, let's say you do a card pull every day, and every day you keep getting a sword of some kind. Okay, well, why are you getting swords? Out of all the cards in the deck, why do you keep pulling up swords? You know, so that's kind of what it is, you know, like asking yourself why. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to shift a little bit here. Actually, I think I'm going to put my book here, move my beautiful cards here. Sorry, I have 2 protrusions on my left side. So sometimes if I sit in one position too long, my back goes numb, or it'll push on the nerves on my right side and my right hip will kind of go numb a bit. Alrighty, so ace represents obviously the hand, right? You know, something coming out of the clouds. Again, it's the universe presenting you with a gift, you know. So we're dealing with like intellect, you know. So the gift could be maybe an idea that's like sharp, like, you know. When you see a sword, spiritually, when it is drawn, it means a decision has been made about something. When it's pointing down, so basically, if it's the sword is pointing up, yes, I'm using my wand. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll use my athame. When the sword is pointing up, right, it means the decision, a decision has been made. You know, spiritually, you know, and then when it is down, it means a decision has been made about, sorry, I'm just trying to read my writing. I was trying to write this stuff down really, really quick. Yeah. So when you see a sword spiritually, when it is down, it means a decision has been made about something. And when it is pointing up, it means a deliberation is still being made. So if the swords are facing down, it means a decision's been made. Whether it's, like it's like spiritual, something that's out of your control, or whatever. If they're pointing up, it means a deliberation is still being made. So like the universe is still in talks, so to speak. Sharp ideas, victory, blessings, and the spirits are guiding you. So your spirits, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your spirit animal, something from the other realm is guiding you. So that's the Ace of Swords. Two of Swords is, impartial, weighing out different options, different situations, different consequences, making an intellect decision, not letting your emotions get in the way, or letting your emotions kind of run wild and that kind of thing. Being level-headed about the whole thing, being impartial, about the situation. Three of Swords, card of disappointment, let down, heartbreak. Mentally, though, why am I getting this? What can I do? What can I learn? Did I miss something? It's a journey you got to do, within, looking inwards, looking at yourself, your mind, right? What's going on up there, reevaluating, everything in your mind as to, why is this happening? Why did this happen? Four of Swords, reconcile, reconcile with all that has happened. It's a time to come to terms with, with everything that has happened, how the situation has played out. It's a time for rehabilitation, a period where, you can, use meditation, meditate on what happened, rest, like just take a moment and breathe. It's the rest card, like it's telling you need to rest. Again, the Five of Swords, like I said, you'll see Five of Swords is manipulation, gave up, what happened, Six of Swords is decisions, decisions, or a decision has been made, a firm decision, something happened, that was, stressful, that made you, make, the decision, something stressful, that, you made the decisions that you did, to move forward, life altering, events, major events in life, a period of choppy water, rough stress in your life. You've decided to move forward to calming waters and peaceful time. Whatever happened, you are taking it with you. Whatever happened was so significant in your life, it has changed you. You are a different person now, that's kind of, so it's talking about decisions, so there was some decisions that were made, firm decisions that were made, something something happened, in your life, the person that you're doing the readings life, that was so extremely stressful, that you made the decision to move forward. They were life-altering events, major events in your life. It was a period of, rough waters, so to speak, waves, that kind of thing, waves of emotions, that kind of thing. It was rough, rough stress in your life. But, you've decided to move forward, to a more calming, peaceful time, but whatever did happen, you are taking it with you. Whatever happened, was significant in your life, that it has changed you. And, you're a different person now from it. It's not necessarily that it changed you for bad either. You could be just more cautious about people now, or more cautious about certain situations. Obviously it depends on what the situation is, and, other card factors and stuff like that, right? Seven of Swords, something, something you haven't worked through. So something that happened in your past, or that happened previously, and you still haven't kind of worked through it yet. Why did you leave it behind? What idea or plan that you haven't worked through? Why didn't you? So there's a lot of like, why? Were you careless? Did you think it wasn't important enough? Sneaking away with something, stealing, hiding information. People have taken something from you. So this one is kind of like the theft card. Do you know what I mean? Somebody, somebody's hiding something from you, taking information from you, or, like hiding information from you. Someone's taking something from you. It's not necessarily, physical or material. Do you know what I mean? Eight of Swords, something has happened that made you, that kind of has you stuck. Something happened and now you feel stuck. Like you can't go anywhere. Why do you feel like, you can't go anywhere? Why do they feel like they can't go anywhere? Why are you stuck? Why does it feel like a prisoner? Or why do you feel like a prisoner? Like you're boxed in, like a prison. Are you being impartial? Are you really stuck? Are you really trapped? Not doing a good job balancing? Has locked herself, you've locked yourself in your head, and you feel like there's nowhere out or nowhere to go. Why do you do that? So again, because this is, mind and, things like that, like everything to kind of do up here. This is, like you're stuck in your head, so, when you look at, the Eight of Swords, she's not really stuck, right? Because, she could maneuver through the swords. Do you know what I mean? She could remove the blindfold, right? So it's a lot about being stuck in your head, and being in your head too much that it's blinding you from other paths you could be taking or other opportunities that you could be taking. Nine of Swords, nightmare, waking up from a nightmare, distress, your mental state is in such a poor place. You can't sleep properly. You're overthinking a lot. You're creating a nightmare, in your own head, for a situation or, whatever. And then again, remember I was talking about the Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords, mentally, a bad place. Because when you look at the Ten of Swords, it pretty much doesn't matter what deck it is. It's somebody laying, down, face down with 10 swords, literally stabbing them in the back. So obviously it's, backstabbing and, that kind of thing, right? So mentally, you're in a bad place. Could mentally killed yourself. Killed any drive to kind of, climb out of the situation and, that kind of thing, right? Where is the problem? Take a second look around at the blessings around you, the turmoil and the hardship, that you feel, that you're dealing with in life is because of everything happening in your mental state, and the need to change your own personal narrative, so why, again, like I said, like ask yourself, okay, why did this situation happen? Did I take, what path did I go down that ended up leading me into this situation? This is a time, it's a really shitty card. It's not a card that you really, you really don't want this card, because it is a card of like deception and, backstabbing and, that kind of thing, right? So you want to look at, like, kind of remove yourself in the sense where you're kind of looking over at the situation as a whole, and be like, okay, so I see, this is where I kind of went wrong. I listened to this person when I shouldn't have, or I took that opportunity when I knew I shouldn't have, because I knew deep down that it wasn't the right opportunity. I should have taken this one instead. And then take look at, take the knowledge with you. Look at what you can learn from, look at the knowledge of the whole thing, and then take that knowledge with you forward so you don't find yourself in that situation again. And man, y'all, listen to your intuition. If your gut is telling you don't do it, don't do it. It's telling you that for a reason. Or if your gut's telling you don't trust this person because it's going to lead you, through a whole heap of like mental, instability and mental anguish and mental stress, and which eventually will lead you into like emotional stress and all of that stuff, then listen to it. It's telling you a reason not to trust that person. Don't do it. You could have prevented a lot of the situations that kind of led you up to that 10 of Swords card, right? But again, like I said, we're all meant to go through things for a reason. Things are meant to be thrown at us and for us to go through because we're meant to learn from them so we don't continue to repeat them. Do you know what I mean? So at that particular moment, at that particular time, at that particular stage of your life, you were meant to have that all happen to you so you can gain knowledge from it and bring that knowledge with you into the next stage of your life so you don't repeat those same mistakes in that next stage of your life. Do you know what I mean? So we'll do the court cards, which, like we said before, Swords is like your mental state and intellectual and all that. Page, immaturity, try to figure out what to do, with all the ideas, those sharp ideas coming in. Is there something there? Is there something missing? Is someone lying? Is someone hiding something? Hiding, is there secrets? They got a secret and not telling you guys. Like, these are questions you need to be asking, and looking at and kind of paying attention to, right? Knight of Swords, really sharp ideas, movement, quick movement, fast movement, took off with the idea, charged, but without thinking it through. So you moved really quick, you got that really freaking like insane idea, and you're like, okay, you made the movement, you made a quick movement, fast movement, you ran with that idea, like you just charged with that idea, like went off with that idea, but you didn't think it through, so if you have an idea in your head and you're thinking about an idea in your head, this Knight of Swords pops up. It's telling you, like, think it through though. Like, think through everything before. Like, don't just take the idea and run with it. You need to think about everything. Like, think about all the possibilities and all the aspects of the ideas. Like, think about everything before you go forward. Don't just take and run with it, because yeah, it could work out, but it can backfire pretty bad. Queen of Swords, hardship, hard, sharp, tough, decision making, strict, the need to make a decision, what she wants, not impartial, looking. You know, she's looking or he's looking. And King of Swords, basically, you know, takes no shit, you know, makes decisions, doesn't let emotions interfere with the decision making. So there's no emotion when they're making the decision. They just make the decision. That's it. That's all. It's final. Makes decisions with intellect, you know, so he or she, you know, makes the decision like, you know, thinks about all the possibilities and, you know, makes the proper decision. Do you know what I mean? So I will do another video of the major arcanas. I'll try and do it sometime this week, just because it's like 8:30 right now. But I will read you this little thing like I had said here. You know, like every tarot deck, you know, if it says that it kind of goes by the RWS meanings, but they'll also kind of put their kind of aspect on their meanings. It's one of the reasons why I really liked her cards and her meanings of the cards, you know. So in here, it's like kind of all the minor arcana numbers and the core card meanings. Ace, basic elemental quality, represents the beginning of things, new ideas, projects, or birth, which we kind of talked about. Obviously, with each suit, they'll have a little bit of a different added to it. But if you look at all the aces and all the suits, they are about something new. And then also something, you know, someone in the other realm is offering you something, offering you some type of advice, offering you some type of wisdom, message of some kind, right? The relationship between two people or principles, reflection, harmony, and balance. 3, full expression of the element, love, expectancy, the concept of creation, divinity, and fate. 4, stability, firm foundations, structure, and order. The 4 of Wands and 4 of Swords are calming and steadying, while the 4 of Cups and 4 of Pentacles show stagnation and restriction. Remember, we were talking about that. 5, loss, conflict, regret, problems, crisis, creating challenges, arguments, opportunity to learn something new. So remember what I was saying. Yes, you know, there's a lot of loss and chaos and things like that, but it's also a new opportunity for you to learn new things, right? Everything happens for a reason, like I was saying. 6, balance, harmony, love, benevolence, past actions, communication, reunion, accomplishment. 7, skill, victory, luck, daring, and patience, wisdom, mystery, you know, magical gifts associated with each suit, because this is the Witch Tarot, right? So that's like there, you know. 8, enthusiasm, inspiration, regeneration, success, justice, reevaluation, redirection, development or growth in future. 9, limits, boundaries, melancholy, almost finished, achieving results and learning from previous experience. 3 times 3, emotionally satisfied and contented. 10, new stage of development, completion, heritage, karma, the need to go beyond limits. Page, children and teens, students, messengers, undeveloped potential, risk-taking, curiosity, hopefulness, exploration, study of practical matters. Night, adventure, movement, progress, action, responsibility to others. Queen, mothering, nurturing, creativity, caring, compassion, kindness, inspiration, deep magical meaning of the suit. King, father figure, teacher, mentor, leader, authority, responsibility, power, success, policy, pride, stubbornness, arrogance. And then she goes into symbols in the cards. I won't go through all of them, just there is a lot. But like, so benches, because I know I'm pretty sure there was a couple of benches in the RWS. The bench illustrates neutrality, and that it is time to have a seat and mull things over. Seen, like in here, it's seen in the cards, the High Priest, Justice, and 2 of Swords. So they really tell you to look at all the aspects of the cards, like every little detail. Birds are higher thoughts and spiritual messages. And then they kind of tell you, well, she tells you what cards they're in. Blindfolds. This is where, like, some of the cards where I was saying, like, there was 2 meanings. Blindfolds, there are 2 possible definitions to blindfolds in the Witch's Tarot. So obviously, because it's for her book. But even if you're looking at the RWS cards, so 1 seen in the 8 of Swords shows that a woman feels trapped like a hostage. Her blindfold causes disorientation, keeps her unaware of her surroundings. Then we have the opposite end of the spectrum, the 2 of Swords. This blindfold prevents distraction and helps her to look within. Her other senses are heightened now. What can she learn from them? And then they talk about butterflies and, castle, cat, children, cliffs, crow and ravens, deers, dogs. Like, she literally, like, dissects everything, like fish and dolphins. These water creatures symbolize communication, emotion, intuition, and creativity. Gardens, globes or orbs, Hildry, which is like the that chest plate, so if there's something on them, yeah, so it gives you here, like, dragons, means protection. Hawks means eagerness, that kind of thing. Horses, houses, keys. Keys are a mystical symbol of knowledge and often represent the mysteries of the craft. Lakes, ponds, pools. Pillars. Pillars represent balance. Pillars are included in the classic tarot imagery to illustrate that the figure of the card is neutral or has taken a middle ground. Seen in the High Priestess, the High Priest, and Justice. So, again, like she mentions that it's, rivers, streams, moons. shields, scepters, roses. And then here, you know, because they have different colored roses, you know, she goes over each color, you know, meaning, right? Shields, ships, you know, skulls, you know, teens and young adults, and then like sunflowers, the throne, triple moon, because there's a triple moon in this one. Tulips, you know, wand, because the magician and the chariot, right? They have a wand. The wand of hawthorn, which the whole suit of wands is made of a branch from a hawthorn tree, right? Which is association of fire. Hawthorn is a tree of magical power and folklore. Magically, hawthorn blossoms are used in both protection and fertility spells. It talks about waterfalls, waves, and then wolf, which I'm pretty sure there's a wolf in the RW. A wolf signifies a pathfinder, leader, guide, and teacher, you know, seen in the moon card. I mean, there's a lot more. It's just there's like a lot of information to read, so obviously I don't want to go over it right now, just because this video is already long enough as is. So yeah, these are kind of you know, what I've learned about the cards and different interpretations of the cards. You know, like obviously, you know, what doesn't resonate with you, you know, leave behind, and always do kind of what resonates with you. You know, how I think or feel or interpret a card may not be the same as you, and it doesn't make my way or my interpretation right and yours wrong, and vice versa. It doesn't make your interpretation or your way of reading the card or how you read the card right and my way wrong, right? Because it's all about how you interpret the cards, and you know, because you use your intuition, you know, for reading the cards. You know, yes, we all generally learn the card meanings the same way, because you know, we pick up the books and we read the books and you know, and stuff like that. But then, you know, eventually as we get more experience and we do readings more, and you know, we read more books and watch more videos of other people, you know, doing cards and other people's interpretations, they can give you another way of looking at reading a card, you know, or interpreting a card. You know, like the same thing with, like, you know, the Tower card. It's the same thing. Like, you know, oh my God, I got the Tower today, it's horrible, and you know, whatever. There's another way of how to interpret those cards. And like I was saying, for like the Ten of Swords, right? There's, yeah, it's a really shitty card, and nobody really likes getting the Ten of Swords, let's face it. But you have to take a step back and look at the whole picture. Look at everything surrounding that person that's lying down face first with all these 10 swords sticking out of their back. What got them into that situation, that happened? You know, what can they do to change it so that that doesn't happen again? Do you know what I mean? You know, so there's different ways of interpreting cards and reading them, you know, where it somewhat takes some of the ugliness out of it, but it still leaves enough of the ugliness there, like, hey, wake up and pay attention. Let's not repeat this again. Do you know what I mean? So at least that's how I feel, you know, about the cards and, you know, interpreting. Like, I always, the bad cards, you know, or the not so very nice cards, you know, the really ugly cards, I try to, you know, yes, I take in the information that it's saying, but I also try to look at the bigger picture from the outside as to what got me into that situation, or why did that card pop up in my reading. Do you know what I mean? What is it that I need to pay attention to, or what is it that I need to change before this is the outcome of the situation? You know, because it could, you know, it's not necessarily that, oh, that's what's happening to you right now. It could be like, hey, if you don't pay attention, and listen to, what the universe is trying to tell you, or what your spirit guides have been trying to give you messages about. This is what's going to happen. You're going to be laid up, face down, with a bunch of swords sticking out your backside. So wake up and pay attention. Open your eyes. Let's figure this shit out. And what steps, what path do we need to take so we can steer away, from this backstabbing situation? Because it's not, it's not set in stone. Like, and a lot of people who are intimidated or scared of tarot cards is because they think that when they get the reading, it's, oh my God, this is what's going to happen. No, it's not what's going to happen. It's not set in stone. It's showing you that if you continue on the path that you're taking, or continue down the road that you're going right now, this is one of the potential outcomes that can happen if you don't change, or take a step back or take yourself out and do like a bird's eye view, of the whole situation, and kind of look down at the situation as a whole, and kind of take it all in, and then be like, oh shit, look at that. If I keep going down that's what's going to happen, and then, sometimes when you do that, that's when you're like, oh, so that's what that gnawing feeling in my gut was. Man, I tell you, it drives me nuts when I have people that come up and they're like, oh, I knew I should have listened to my gut because, I got like this nauseated feeling all of a sudden about this situation, but I was like, whatever. And I went ahead and I did it. And now look, I lost this, or this happened, or that happened. Well, you have no one to blame but your damn self. Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you listen to your intuition? Your body knows, your intuition knows what's best for you. And I swear to God, it will never steer you wrong. My intuition has never steered me wrong. Have I ever gone against my intuition? Absolutely. Because I'm the type of person that likes to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I don't like seeing people, being like, centered out, or like isolated out of a group, or whatever, so I befriend them and try and help them along, and things like that. And I've made a few poor choices with like people that I've befriended, even though, well, I'm telling you, when I first met them people, it was literally like somebody snuffed me in my stomach, like almost took the wind out of me when I started talking, to these people. And I didn't listen to it because, everybody else was kind of picking on them. And to me, all I saw was bullying and centering somebody out and isolating somebody, from like a group setting or whatever. I don't like that type of behavior. It bothers me. I was bullied in school at one point in my life, very early on in my grade school. And I learned how to fight real quick. Hence, I'm a fighter. So I would always stick up for, the people that didn't have the strength and the courage to stick up for themselves, so I would beat up the bullies in school. Would never don't think nothing of it. Like, I wouldn't think twice about it. Even if I seen you picking on somebody and pushing somebody around, best believe I was there asking you what the hell your problem was. Why are you picking on this person? Why are you saying those things to these people? That's just the type of person I am. I don't like that shit. Even now as an adult, obviously I don't go around fist flying and whatever. I like my job. But if I see that somebody is, being picked on and being bullied, and like I actually visually see it, and there's an opportunity where I can go in and talk to somebody and be like, hey, listen, this is what I'm seeing, and I don't think that's appropriate. or I don't think that's very professional. Yeah, I'll be in the office and I'll be telling them, yo, that's not cool. You know, so I have, like I said in the past, made the mistake of befriending people, you know, who were having these situations happening to them, not realizing the reason why these situations were happening to them is because they brought it on themselves. You know, they were the ones that backstabbed all of these people. You know, these people were friends and had befriended them, and this person took their friendship for granted and, you know, backstabbed them left, right, and center, you know, up, down, sideways. Like, you know, not knowing that, you know, they created that hostile environment, so to speak, you know, and, you know, I ended up finding out later, you know, of how the person is. Now, luckily, when I started finding out, I receive a lot of my, you know, messages and guidance and things like that through dreams. So when I start dreaming a lot about a particular person and situations, there's a reason why, you know, and then I start really paying attention to the dream and I start paying attention to the situation. And if it's constantly the same situation where, you know, this person is hurting me in some way, shape, or form, then I know is because, you know, my spirit guides are telling me, listen, bish, listen, heifer. You know, we gave you the first sign with the punch in the stomach, like, hey, you shouldn't be talking to this person. You chose to ignore us. Now we stepping up into your dreams and kind of heating you, telling you, yo, listen, you need to start slowly cutting ties with this person because it's not going to be a pretty outcome. You know, so for me, how I do it, especially now, like as I've gotten older, I start pulling away. So I'll start pulling away from people and I'll start pulling away from situations and I'll start slowly kind of cutting ties so it's not as obvious. So I don't create a hostile environment for myself, especially if it's, you know, someone that I work with or somebody that works in the same place that I work at, or if it's, you know, a neighbor, or if it's someone that lives in the same community complex that I live in. That way it doesn't create a hostile living environment for myself or my family, because, you know, people are trifling and they'll involve your kids and everything. So, and I like I said, I'm not perfect. I have done that. And that's like, kind of like my downfall is, you know, I try to help everybody and I always try to see the good in people, even though the bad kind of outweighs more than the good. But I have gotten better over the years, especially the last couple of years, especially since I started you know, like reconnecting with my native roots and, you know, getting involved with witchcraft and, you know, learning more, studying more, reading more, and then, you know, going to witch school. You know, I went to witch school. I started May 2019. I graduated March of 2020. Which is where I got my community of witches, my magical community. And they really, really helped me see a lot of different things, especially some of the crones that are there, which are like the elders. You know, they really, really helped me see my gifts and my potential. They've helped me reach where I'm at now, and kind of guide me where I'm at now. And then also, like, it's okay to, it's okay to want to help people and be there for people, but at the same time, I need to conserve my energy and look after my energy and like my inner light, and make sure that my light doesn't go dim because I'm making their light be brighter. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it taught me how to start pulling back from situations and pulling back from people and kind of withdrawing from situations and withdrawing from people, to where it doesn't create a hostile environment or a hostile situation. And it just kind of, it's non-existent anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very happy and thankful and grateful. I have so much gratitude, for learning everything that I've learned so far on my path. And like I said, I am still very new, to everything. I'm new to reading tarot cards. It's only been like a year and a half now that I've been reading tarot and doing tarot. Plus, trying to fit it in with work and family life and obviously everything else that's going on in the world right now. Which is why I tell you guys, like, this is just what I've learned so far and kind of what's helped me understand, interpret the cards a little better. It may not work for you, or, you may not feel like any of this resonates with you and I'm, talking out of my ass kind of thing, which is fine. You learn how you want to learn, and you interpret the cards how you want to interpret to them. It doesn't make you wrong, and it doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like, we each interpret them differently. You know what I mean? So, I know just from past readings and readings that I've done for a few other people, like a few coworkers of mine, my readings are very accurate and very on point. And I know things and situations that I shouldn't really know. Do you know what I mean? Because, and I only know them because the cards told me, right? And it always kind of shocks them, when I give them the reading. And they're like, oh my God, like, how did you know that? That kind of thing. And I'm like, well, the cards, the universe, my spirit guides and my ancestors told me, because I always ask them to accompany me and be with me as I do my readings. So, and then I always ask for the protection of Hecate as I perform any divinatory or divination work. So, that's my son in the background, like I said, playing video games. But yeah, so, it's been a blessing, this journey, and I'm really excited to learn more. I'm trying to slow down and learn one thing at a time. I tend to try and learn like a bunch of different things at once. So like I'll have like 3 or 4 books on the go that I'm reading, and I'm trying really hard to not do that and just focus and finish one thing before kind of moving to the next. Like right now I'm doing the tarot, but at the same time I had some runes that were gifted to me, so I bought a rune book and I've been learning runes. So I'm trying to slow it down and just stay between the tarot, obviously the oracle cards, and the runes. I do a rune pull every day because I'm trying to familiarize myself with the runes. I can't pronounce any of them, so I didn't even know how I'm going to even talk to you guys about the meanings for the runes, because can't pronounce any of them. Like I can pronounce maybe a handful of them, but like the majority of them I can't even pronounce. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about that. If you guys have any suggestions as to how to pronounce each of the runes, I'm totally open for it, and put your suggestions down below in the suggestion or in the comment box, because a sister is completely open to any ideas or information on how to pronounce the runes. I have to do the whole like Google thing, how do you pronounce, and then I spell it out, and some of them I can kind of get, and then other ones I'm like, I can't even pronounce that. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to put it on my YouTube channel if I can't even pronounce it? But yeah, so I'm trying to stay with that. Like I have, you know, a beautiful pendulum here. I have two of them actually. These are the two that really energetically, I was very energetically kind of drawn to. These two beautiful. So this one is like green aventurine. If my camera can focus, hold on. Oops, no, let go of it, Tammy. I do the whole YouTube. So this is green aventurine, beautiful. And then if you look here, it's all your chakra roots. This I actually won from a beautiful lady that I follow on YouTube, called, her name is Butterfly Hollow. Carissa is her muggle name, as she says it, as my muggle name is Tammy. I haven't come up with like a YouTube kind of witchy name yet, so nothing's kind of appealed or come to me yet. So if it does, I mean, y'all will be the first to know, because I'll obviously announce it. But yeah, so we kind of won this, and then I got this beautiful little pendulum board as well. And then this one was gifted to me as well. This is black onyx, or obsidian. It's one or the other. It was gifted to me. So I have them, you know, sitting here on my altar. But I haven't actually worked with my pendulum yet, just because I'm not fully comfortable yet with like the runes, and I'm still learning the tarot. I mean, obviously I'm a little more comfortable with my tarot because I do my reading every day. Sometimes I've taken a hiatus a few times in doing my card readings, where I won't do a reading for myself for a couple of weeks. It's just, you know, the stress levels at work, because I'm an essential worker, so I'm working with the public 40 hours a week. People lately, with everything going on in the world, have not been very nice to us people who have to work, to make sure that they can put food on their table. Obviously, I've had very good people who are extremely thankful and grateful, and, you know, show us so much gratitude that, you know, we get up and we come to work every day so that they can come and they can do their grocery shopping and, you know, things like that. So, but we do have some people that come through and are extremely, extremely hostile, you know, extremely vulgar, and just, you know, plain mean and rude, you know. And, you know, most days I'm like, meh, whatever, you know, because, you know, I travel to work with like 20 freaking crystals on me. So, but, you know, I'm human, and there are days where they come through, and, you know, it's that, you know, wrong particular day, and that person will, you know, say whatever, or, you know, disrespect me in whichever way and I actually have to walk away from the cash, and I'll go in the bathroom and I'll cry because it's so overwhelming, right now. And, in a world pandemic, in a world crisis, like, how can you treat other people that way and be okay with yourself and walk away thinking that you're right and you're above me, because I'm a cashier? Honey, I can guarantee you I probably make more money than you do as a cashier, but that's not the point. I greet you, with, positivity and hi, how are you today? And want to rip my heart out and toss it on the floor and stomp all over it. Like, no. And like I said, for the most part, I'm generally able to kind of, snap back, kind of put them in their place, but appropriately and diplomately, but I am human, and there are some days where my emotions are a little more higher, and I'm a little more sensitive that day, or just I'm tired, I'm mentally exhausted, or whatever, and I can't deal with it. And like, I can feel my chest get tight, and I can feel the tears wanting to start coming down my face. And then that's usually when I'll be like, I need a minute, like, I need to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have to serve this person. And I'll walk away from my cash and I'll go to the bathroom, and it's because I need to cry. Like, I need to release that emotion so I can finish my day, and it's just, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm, those times is when I kind of take a break from everything. I still, do my cleansing at night, and, I'll still try and kind of meditate a bit at night. It's just, it may not be long. It may only be 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But I'll actually take a break. Like, I won't touch my cards. And, if I feel that my head is too busy and I have too many emotions kind of going on inside of me, I won't touch my cards, because a lot of the time it affects my readings, especially if I'm trying to do a reading for somebody else. It's my emotion kind of getting in the way, and it's because I'm exhausted, and I need to take a break, and I need to spend some time kind of on myself and recentering myself, and regrouping, and kind of realigning my chakras, and that kind of thing. And I'll take that time. And I'll do that. And I mean, if it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 3 weeks, if it's a month, then that's what I do. And then I'll come back and I'll start doing my readings, and I'll start doing my card pulls, and stuff like that. So but like I said, I'm still very much a learner. I've had people ask me, how come you're not, why don't you do your readings? Why are you not charging people for your readings? The people that I have done readings for offered to pay me, and kept pulling me aside or messaging me offering to pay me. And I'm like, no. Because for me, if you're going to be making like a side business out of this, or a business out of this where you're going to be charging people for readings, you need to be a pro. Like, you need to not need to look at the book for a reference, and it just needs to come quick and sharp, and no second guess, no nothing, and I'm not, for me personally, I'm not quite there yet. I don't feel that I'm not quite there yet, because sometimes I will have to kind of go back into my book and be like, okay, wait, I'm missing something, and right, that's what I was missing. Like, do you know what I mean? So not quite there yet, but eventually I want to be at that stage. You know, I want to be at that stage where I can just lay the reading out, read it, be like, yeah, this, blah, 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 blah. And then that's it, you know. And then when I'm at that stage, then I feel more comfortable taking a payment, you know, like taking, you know, somebody gifting me money for a reading, you know what I mean? Then I don't have a problem, you know, gifting that. But I know for myself, if I'm going for a reading and somebody is doing my cards and reading my cards and they got to pull out a book and read from a book, you should not be charging. That's just my personal opinion, you know. At least, you know, be forward and be like, hey, listen, you know, sure, I have no problem doing your reading, but like, I'm still learning and I may have to reference my book. Then, okay, that's cool, you know, but then, I mean, you shouldn't be charging too much either if that's the case, you know. That's just my personal, you know, opinion on it myself, right? So, but yeah. I hope you guys like my video. I apologize for the video being long, the little rants. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video other than the unboxings. So I will hopefully sometime this week do a video on the Major Arcanas. I don't have time to like split them up, you know, like do one suit today and then another suit tomorrow and then another suit the next day and then another suit. I don't have time to do that, and I don't want to be sitting here for a whole month either, you know, doing a suit every Sunday or a suit every Monday. Like I couldn't be bothered with that. At least this way it's on my channel. Even if you don't watch the full video all at once and you watch some of it today, some of it tomorrow, some of it the next day, that's completely fine. But at least it's there and it's on my channel, and you can take however long you need to kind of listen and go through the video. So I will try and do the Major Arcanas either tomorrow or Tuesday, because I have early shifts, so I'll be home earlier in the day. I think tomorrow I'm done at 4:30, and I think the next day I'm done at like 4. So I will try and fit it in one of those days. Now, it has been taking forever for me to upload videos. I still have another unboxing to upload first, which is the Intentional Witch. So I'll be uploading that video first before I upload the 2 videos that I did for the tarot. Because we did the we did the cups. And I mean, I think that video was almost an hour. So, and then this one is just a little over 2 hours. So, but as soon as the videos are uploaded, I will obviously make a post on my Instagram and my Facebook page. And if you are a subscriber, obviously if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified when the videos are uploaded. So if you like my video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you have any suggestions on any future videos or any advice even for any of the videos, as long as it's positive advice, you know, and it's nothing rude or ignorant or demeaning, please feel free to make a comment down below. And again, just a disclaimer, the music that was playing in the background at first, I have no rights to it. And some of the information that I was getting from is from the Witch's Tarot. It's a beautifully illustrated deck. Even the meanings are beautifully done. So if you are a practicing witch and you're looking for like a more witchy theme type tarot, this is a good deck to work with, as well as the Everyday Witch Tarot is another one that's really good. I have both of them. And again, I also, disclaimer, I also got some of my information and knowledge from a bunch of different YouTubers who were given different outlooks and aspects at reading the cards. So it's kind of like my interpretation and reading and their interpretation at reading the cards too. I mean, we're all trying to help each other to learn and read and interpret tarot better. So that's what I'm aiming to do. And yeah, as I say, as I learn, I will teach you guys. And if you guys have any knowledge or information or any other interpretations for the cards, feel free, again, make a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. It's getting late here, so I'm going to sign off. Love, light, and magic to you all, and I love you all. Have a blessed night. Bye, guys.